Welcome to a pivotal year in American history. 1828. Imagine a young nation stretching from the Atlantic to the Mississippi, buzzing with ambition and division. Factories hummed in the north, cotton fields sprawled in the south, and settlers eyed the vast west with hunger. This was a time when democracy was reinventing itself, when everyday voices began to drown out elite whispers. From bitter political battles to cultural sparks that lit the path to modernity, 1828 reshaped the United States in ways that echo today. Let's begin with the political storm brewing in Washington. President John Quincy Adams, a patrician diplomat from Massachusetts, clung to power amid whispers of corruption. His 1824 victory, secured through a controversial House vote after no candidate won a majority, left many feeling cheated, especially Andrew Jackson, the war hero from Tennessee who had topped the popular vote. Jackson's supporters seethed over what they called the corrupt bargain between Adams and Speaker Henry Clay, who became Secretary of State. By early 1828, that resentment crystallized into action. On January 8th, the Democratic Party was born in Tennessee, the first modern political party in America. It championed Jackson as its champion, rallying farmers, laborers, and frontiersmen under the banner of the common man. This wasn't just a party, it was a revolution in how power was chased. Conventions replaced backroom deals, and newspapers became weapons in the war for hearts and minds. Across the country, the air thickened with tension over trade and tariffs. On May 19th, Congress passed the Tariff of 1828, dubbed the Tariff of Abominations by its southern foes. Designed to shield northern industries from cheap British imports, it slapped duties as high as 50% on everything from woolens to iron. Northern manufacturers cheered, seeing it as a shield for their growing factories. But in the agrarian South, where cotton kings relied on exporting crops and importing goods, it felt like a dagger. Prices soared, profits plunged, and cries of taxation without representation echoed the revolution. And Vice President John C. Calhoun, a South Carolinian, penned a secret expose defending states' rights to nullify federal laws, a doctrine that would ignite the nullification crisis just 4 years later. From the USA's perspective, this tariff wasn't just economics. It was a fault line cracking the young republic, pitting industrial North against plantation South, and foreshadowing the sectional strife that would culminate in civil war. Yet 1828 wasn't all discord. It pulsed with cultural vitality that defined the American spirit. In New Haven, Connecticut, lexicographer Noah Webster unveiled his magnum opus, an American dictionary of the English language. Social currents swirled too, revealing the era's shadows and innovations. In Philadelphia, on August 11th, the Working Men's Party emerged as America's first labor-focused political group. Born from the toil of artisans and factory hands, it demanded shorter workdays, cheaper land, and public education, seeds of the progressive movements to come. But darker notes sounded as well. That same year, comedian Thomas D. Rice debuted in blackface, minstreling the tune Jump Jim Crow on Louisville stages. What started as a satirical ditty mocking an enslaved man's limp exploded into a national craze, embedding racist stereotypes in popular culture. From the USA's vantage, it underscored the brutal irony of a democracy expanding for white men, while millions in chains and native nations under siege fought for scraps of freedom. As summer faded, eyes turned westward, where fortune beckoned. On October 27th, Benjamin Parks stumbled upon gold nuggets in the Cherokee lands of northern Georgia, near what became Dahlonega. Word spread like wildfire, drawing prospectors and sparking the Georgia gold rush. This glittering discovery intensified white demands for native removal, violating treaties, and accelerating the Trail of Tears tragedy. Yet it also fueled America's manifest destiny fever, pulling settlers deeper into the frontier and swelling the population of states like Georgia. All these threads converged in the most electrifying spectacle of 1828, the presidential election. From October 31 to December 3rd, voters across 22 states, from muddy polling stations in backwoods taverns to urban halls, cast ballots in numbers never seen before. Suffrage had exploded. By now, most white men could vote, up from property owners only. Jackson's Democrats ran a machine-like campaign. Torchlight parades, hickory poles symbolizing their hero's Tennessee home, and pamphlets branding Adams a monarchist who kept a billiard table in the White House. Adams's national Republicans fired back viciously, smearing Jackson as a murderer, adulterer, and illiterate barbarian, exhuming scandals from duels to his wife's divorce. Rachel Jackson, Andrew's beloved partner, bore the brunt, collapsing under the slander and dying just weeks before his victory. On December 3rd, the tallies poured in. Jackson swept 178 electoral votes to Adams's 83, capturing 56% of the popular vote. It was a landslide that shattered the old order, birthing the second-party system and the era of Jacksonian democracy. From a global lens, 1828's ripples touched America subtly but profoundly. In South America, the Cisplatin War ended on August 27th with Brazil and Argentina recognizing Uruguay as independence, a fragile peace that stabilized trade routes vital for US merchants under the Monroe Doctrine. Across the Atlantic, Russia's advance in the Russo-Turkish War, capturing Varna on September 29th, distracted European powers, giving the young republic breathing room to focus inward. Even Simón Bolívar's self-declaration as dictator in Gran Colombia that August stirred debates in US salons about republicanism's fragility, reinforcing Adams's push for Pan-American alliances. These foreign tremors reminded Americans of their precarious perch, a continental power still navigating isolation amid old-world tempests. As 1828 closed, the nation stood transformed. The Democratic Party's triumph democratized politics, amplifying the mob of ordinary citizens. The tariff sowed seeds of disunion, while cultural milestones like Webster's dictionary and the Cherokee Phoenix wove a richer national tapestry. Gold's Gleam lured dreamers west, even as it darkened native horizons. And Jump Jim Crow hinted at the uglier undercurrents of expansion. This year wasn't just dates on a calendar, it was the forge of modern America, a raucous, divided, innovative giant awakening to its own power. What lessons does 1828 hold for us? That democracy thrives on inclusion, but falters on exclusion. That progress demands vigilance against its own excesses. Join us next time as we explore the Jacksonian whirlwind that followed.